Hello, it's the Sensor Gambino here with a new stream. And in this stream I'm going to be going over the event week for this week and also kind of next week as well, because it is a 2-week event week that goes until March 23rd. I'm pretty certain this goes till March 23rd, so it is a double event week, like a 2-week event week. And yeah. If for some reason nobody can tell, for some reason I am on the brand new version of the game. That is kind of why I decided to wait on this event week stream a little bit. And yeah, I did check the what's new benefits section thing, and it only has 3 things on it, and none of it's really the event week stuff, which is kind of weird. I was hoping for a full-on event week kind of rundown thing, the benefits section on Red Online, but that does not really seem to be the case. $20,000 here. And yeah, I'm saving that money for a couple days for now. I'm not doing anything with the new vehicles just yet. I'll do that in a day or two. Most likely. This stream is just purely focusing on the event week. But anyways, I'm pretty certain this vehicle here is the Zion Classic. And now the thing is, with these new versions, you can do a performance mode, a performance RT, performance ray trace mode, and a fidelity mode. And from my understanding, the FPS actually kind of determines the vehicle speed and stuff, so I might not actually be doing any full-on performance talk. I might say a little bit on if the vehicle's good or bad, but I might not give exact placements anymore. But yeah, I think it's from Diamond Casino Resort or Heist, if I recall, on this website here. Yeah, I'm pretty certain this here is the Zion Classic, $812,000 here. And yeah, it is a sport classic vehicle, but yeah, the Zion and the regular Zion, I believe, is actually a coupe vehicle. So in a sense, that kind of, I would say, mentions the performance basically. I'm on Breathy 132's spreadsheet thing I tend to use here, and yeah, I'll have to find it here real quick. Okay, actually, it's within the top 10, apparently, lap time. And then, yeah, Zion Classic top speed, though. Alright. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. It's kind of within the top 10 of the Sport Classic class within lap time, so it can be an okay choice apparently, but it's not obviously going to be within top 5 or top 1 territory. And yeah, by the way, I did transfer my character, and yes, I'm aware that apparently you do lose the characters this time around. Unlike with 7th to 8th generation, I believe you got to keep the character, because I did actually go on my 7th gen character in 2021 and it was still intact. But apparently if you do transfer over your 8th generation character to a 9th generation system, you do apparently lose it on the 8th generation. Which is something to keep in mind if you want to keep your character on the previous system. You're apparently not allowed to migrate it, apparently, if you want to keep it on a previous system. Not sure why they changed it up this time, because 7th and 8th gen, you keep the previous character. Not sure why with 8th gen and 9th generation, you don't want people keeping their previous character. But yeah, I think that's something. But yeah. And I'm not necessarily going to speak much when it comes to the 8th generation systems anymore. I'm kind of going to make these more catered towards the newest versions of the game when it comes to talking about the time trial and stuff, or a good performing vehicle and whatnot, possibly. But yeah, fan race apparently for motorcycles. They don't really go over what the like track is anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, for Up Gilead, this one again, like with the typical time trial, since there's no like rocket boosted vehicles and stuff, certainly you want to be using like a very good motorcycle in the game. And yeah, in these new versions, there is actually a motorcycle that Hal can actually work on with its Hal's like special works. It has a lot of like acceleration upgrades. From what I saw, you can like double your acceleration and maybe even like more than double your like acceleration and stuff like that. At least on like the stat bar that it shows and whatnot. And one of them is actually a motorcycle, as I mentioned, and it's actually the Hakuchou Drag actually has the option to be like converted to like a house special like work version. And I heard really good about the like acceleration of the Hakuchou like Drag, like the new like HAL conversion one. So that might be the new best motorcycle for the 9th generation versions in particular. Otherwise, a really good top speed vehicle would be the Reaver, the Western Reaver. That one's apparently a pretty good one for top speed, as I've shown and talked about before previously. Or if you want a very average like motorcycle, there is still the Pegasi Body 801 from day one of the game. It's like a $15,000 motorcycle. Yeah, our C Bandito time trial this time around is Davis Quartz. And the one thing I really remember about this time trial is there is like a jump over in this area, so it's like kind of the one circumstance where like the jump boost can be kind of like significantly useful in our C Bandito time trial. Besides for that, if you want like a guide on these time trials, I believe there's a GTA Men channel I would recommend as guides on like time trials with like commentary and whatnot. Otherwise, there's GTA series videos if you want like a non-commentary guide on like a time trial, if you want to just watch closely how they like do the time trial or something. And yeah, I think I saw like on Twitter that like GTA Men YouTuber I recommended, they mentioned that like they did the time trial with like over 10 seconds like before part time or something. So yeah, that new Hakuchou Drag that you can convert, apparently pretty damn good for that Gilead. And yeah, for the vehicle I'm showing off this time, I figured since I'm not going to be going for like the vehicles in the stream, I'll be in like a couple days or something. I figured I would show off my regular Hakuchou Drag, whatnot. Probably be one of the first couple I convert. And yeah, I'm also kind of doing the stream because yeah, 23 million, I'm not necessarily the most sure like how many vehicles that will get me. That's probably an alright amount, but yeah. I think I narrowed down at least 7 that I want, technically, so... Yeah, there's quite a bit of those new vehicles I'm probably going to want to get. And yeah, car meet, I'll go to car meet. I actually want to check my stream here, make sure that my audio is like going through. It should be, because I did make sure to turn on my like microphone and whatnot, because I have been having it off because I have been playing the like story mode of the game. For the PS5 version, I did get the $10 story mode, so I can get the like maximum effect of like the adaptive triggers and like haptic feedback and all that. Because I don't know, I think like the vibration and stuff like that's actually less, if I recall, if you have like the microphone on. So I've been having the microphone off for like the last day or two and playing it and whatnot. But yeah, I'm very certain I did remember to turn it back on. And so I don't have like an orange light for my like microphone button thing or something. Alright, yeah, my microphone is working good. I figured it would. And yeah, Hakuchou Drag, the regular one, I assume the new like conversion one's a pretty interesting motorcycle. It's one of like 2 motorcycles in the game, I believe, that goes faster, only like forward and stuff. And by the way, this Hakuchou Drag is actually still a very good vehicle, even in like 8th gen versions as well. I'm pretty certain of it. So this can also be a kind of good time trial vehicle as well, even for like a regular one for those like for you like 8th gen players as well. So like mentioned with like the Western Reaver. And in the body 801, no, I would say those ones are probably better options, I would say. But this one's still pretty average in left and top speed, if I recall, so that's never a good option for time trial stuff. Yeah, imagine the like conversion one's a very good one for those new like cow time trials, which I don't necessarily think I have yet. Alright. Almost to 169 on my reputation now, that's cool. And funnily enough, the last two numbers 69. It's pretty fun. Not as fun as 69, but still pretty fun. And yeah, as per usual, I'm over here to go over like some test track vehicles and stuff. Though again, since I think FPS might make a difference on like vehicle performance and stuff, I might not go into as much details of some of the stuff. And yeah, I think 2 of these are on a discount if I recall, but like 1 is not if I heard correctly. I think it says Schlagen GT here, that's not on discount, but the Tulip and then also the STX here are on discount, I'm pretty certain of it. But yeah, the classic Tulip here is a muscle car. I guess I'll have a little quick look if it's good though anywhere. On like the spreadsheet that I mentioned I used. When I was getting Arena War vehicles for like my last like floor for the Arena War area, I think I skipped over the Tulips. I'm assuming it's not a good one for performance, otherwise I might have actually got it. Alright, yeah, its best placement apparently is like 13th place for a lap time in muscle car class. And that's without like the new like vehicles in this 9th gen version pick count, because obviously there's at least one muscle car. I'm pretty sure there's only one muscle car for the conversion thing and whatnot. Yeah, this one seems like a pass from what I can see here, and not really good for performance sakes at least. Benefactor Schlagen GT though, I think can actually be pretty good still for like the sport class if I recall correctly here. But again, keep in mind, I think this is the one that is not on a discount. I think the other 2 are on a discount. I always talk about the test track vehicles, but yeah, I do like to specify if they're on a discount or not. I do like to talk about them though in case someone tests them out and they really like it or something. But I gotta see, it's like performance and whatnot here somewhere. Alright. Schlagen GT is like in 9th place in like top speed. It seems to be better for the top speed performance in the sport class than it is for the lap time performance. So it is within like top 10 of sport class apparently, kind of, so it could be kind of a worthwhile pickup at least for Schlagen GT. But yeah. I think 1.3 million is like the normal price. I think this again is the one that's not on discount between these test track vehicles. Not counting the premium one over there. And yeah, Bravado Buffalo STX. This one's actually pretty interesting. I'm not going to talk about performance, but more so its like capabilities. I'm very certain, at least before the like new like how special work like conversion like muscle car in the game, I believe before that this is definitely a very good vehicle, but even then with that into account, it's definitely a pretty good muscle car in the game. But yeah, this one's pretty interesting. It's actually been a contract DLC, and it's actually one of the like few vehicles that you can have like the Amani tech on, which is like the missile lock-on jammer, and then also the RC like control like kind of one as well. Missile control jammer obviously preventing like missile lock on, and then the RC like controlling it lets you basically control like an RC vehicle. Now personally, this is actually a pretty speedy like contract vehicle with like the Amani tech stuff on it and whatnot. So in my opinion, it kind of doesn't need like the remote like missile jammer or whatever, I feel this one might be kind of better off with like the RC control unit. Obviously, it's very personal preference. If you want the missile remote jammer, it's a very good option on basically any of the Amani Tech vehicles. But this one might be one of the more worthwhile choices in terms of the RC control unit, at least in my personal opinion. And yeah, being in a Amani Tech vehicle, it actually already comes with bullet-resistant glass. Because for those who do not know, they automatically come with bullet-resistant glass. You don't even have to get like the armor plating for like the $150,000. And yeah, armor plating lets it survive like 6, I believe, on like the regular like RPG in the game, and then like 12 like homing rockets, for example. So it's pretty tanky and all that as well if you do get like the armor. And then aside from the other like cool stuff I mentioned that you can put on the Buffalo STX for like defenses and all that kind of stuff, you can get like the machine guns, which yeah, they're kind of just like the standard machine guns, the best like machine guns in the game that aren't like explosive or anything, can kind of destroy like vehicles, I imagine like a few seconds. So I feel it's definitely got some pretty alright machine guns when it comes to like non-explosive machine guns, obviously. And silic mines are nice for like getting like other like players kind of spun out and whatnot. I don't feel silic mines are very useful for missions though, to be honest, per se. I don't know, maybe for like a headhunter or something. But I don't know, there's kind of better mine options, I would say, than the silic mines, so in my opinion, those are just okay. Yeah, it's actually one of the better Amani Tech vehicles in terms of like its performance and stuff, so that's something very nice about it. People kind of claim it's the best kind of Amani Tech vehicle, and in a sense, I kind of agree with that. But I kind of really like the Patriot and like the Gringer kind of better, I'd say, a little bit than this. It's definitely one of my top couple Amani Tech vehicles, I would say, though, personally. So that one's definitely a very worthwhile pickup. And yeah, prize ride this time around is actually a pretty cool one. It's a pretty new-ish P-Fister Comet S2 Cabrio. Not the one from Los Santos Tuners, but it's the one from the contract DLC. And this one's definitely not good in lap time, but I do know it's pretty good in top speed, apparently, for the sport class. But yeah, Comet S2 Cabrio is apparently within like the top 5 of the like sport class for top speed, so it is a pretty good vehicle, so I do kind of recommend going for it. But the challenge can be quite a bit. But keep in mind, this is a longer event week, so you do have a lot of extra time, assuming they don't like change it the next week of the 2-week event week. I'm assuming they're keeping it until March 23rd, because that's when the event week ends, but yeah. To win it, you have to place top 1 for 5 days in a row in a Pursuit Series race. In a Pursuit Series, that has a minimum of 4 players, so that's like a 25% like chance between all the different players in the like race minimum to even get to that top 1. And yeah, obviously you might have to do like multiple races to get that top 1 and stuff, and you also have that like 5 day in a row, depending on like how much time you can find to do Pursuit races. So, in my opinion, just do some Kyle Creek Ice for like a couple hours to buy the vehicle. I wouldn't really say it's really worth doing the like Pursuit Series races. And yeah, I think joining jobs is pretty weird in this. I think it's in the quick join, which I don't remember it being called that in the like 8th generation version. And then it kind of works as normal from there. I believe it's called like jobs, obviously in 8th gen, but yeah, that's what you click on for the other thing. And yeah, a little preview on some money opportunities. And by the way, the event week is mostly kind of copy-paste from like a couple event weeks ago, I think, with some very slight differences. So yeah, there's a lot of like repeat stuff, like I think like 3 times money repeat on like the hangar and stuff like that. That was a repeat from like a couple weeks ago, but there is some different changes compared to that event though. Like the two like test track vehicles I mentioned that were on discount, I don't think those were on discount like a couple weeks ago, compared to like pretty similar the pretty similar event week. But yeah, again, pursuit races with that bare minimum of 4 players because you have to be top one. That's kind of a 25% chance of winning in a sense. So yeah, in my opinion, it's not really that worth it. Unless you have a lot of time on your hands and you want to have a lot of fun with pursuit races or something. I suppose. Like I said, I would much prefer just buying it like outright by doing some like Cairo Creek heists or something. And I guess I'll kind of mention this as well because it is the premium test track thing. You can drive this below. Okay, honestly, I might test track it if I can. But yeah, this is the Bravado Banshee, the like new like House like Special Works version. And yeah, I think with these ones, don't have performance upgrades here. These like stock like test track vehicles, I think they're just like the stock performance. You're actually testing the stock vehicles when you test these. But you actually do have like all the like Howl's like special work like engine upgrades, I believe, on these ones from what I've heard. Oh yeah, I can already test track it, that's cool. But yeah, you will not see that one if you're on 8th generation. You're only going to see that one if you're on the 9th generation for this 4th like premium like test track vehicle, obviously. Back, I'm kind of curious how it works. Okay, candy box gold livery unlocked for rank 169. So it seems I don't have any like clothing that I have to purchase or anything. That's where even going on like simple things like the phone and stuff definitely seems quite a bit faster, I feel, in a way. And yeah, I feel my images and stuff load better when it comes to like the images for like the pursuit races and stuff. That's something kind of nice as well, but yeah. It's actually the first House Special Work vehicle here I'm testing. And it's one of the 2 sport cars, I believe, that you can convert over to the like House Special Works. I believe I saw the conversion price on this is actually pretty pricey though. It's like 1,000,000 like 840 or something, almost like 1.9 million. I think it's almost a 1.9 million, a million like 840,000, which I think actually does make this the like most expensive conversion in the game. So if you do want this vehicle, I think if you win like the first time trial or something, you do actually get like a free house conversion if you like win the time trial. So if you want like all the different like vehicles from the house like special works right now, I think the Banshee is probably the one that's worth using that like free like conversion on or something from that time trial. Because I heard it's like almost 1.9 million to upgrade with the conversion. Figured I would mention that because I feel a lot of people have only been talking about like the what's it called. A lot of people only talk about like the actual like 5 new vehicles that only the 9th gen has, but people don't seem to tend to mention a lot like about the like Hotshot Drag, the Banshee. I think the Sentinel like XS, and then also the Turismo Classic, the one you actually use in that first like time trial, that actually gives you a free conversion, I think. Which yeah, if there is a free conversion, like I think I heard with that, then yeah, the Banshee apparently is the most expensive conversion currently. So that would actually be the one to get. So don't buy the one on the test track, in my opinion. It's probably not worth doing. I heard it's like almost 2.5 million for this if you get it on the test track instead. If you have like a free conversion or something, then it might be worth using it on the Banshee, like on your own Banshee instead of buying it outright. And yeah, this isn't like a stray or anything. It's not like a huge stray for all those like acceleration things to really be put into account. But oh damn, that finds all the difference compared to a lot of the vehicles with this top speed and stuff, with all the crazy acceleration and whatnot. And top speed doesn't increase anything, but the acceleration is massive on those vehicles. And yeah, as for general like performance, it's not really known yet, obviously, considering that it just recently like came out and everything. But yeah, it's HSW premium test ride for the 9th generation only. And again, it will probably go until March 23rd, I would assume, because of the longer event. But yeah, apparently there's a laptop here that you can interact with to see like what vehicles are on like the thing or whatever. Now, I'm assuming you might need to already have done a time trial. Me, I have yet to do that currently. Again, in like a day or two, I might be doing that. But yeah, I think you can check this on the laptop and it'll like tell you all the different vehicles. 5, which are exclusive to this version, purchasable. And then the other 4 are like upgrades to existing vehicles.
Sir, catch you on the other side.
Though I thought I heard there was supposed to be 10 or something, but apparently there's only 9 currently, so I don't know if like one is like trippy or something. But yeah, I think that's basically like the test track vehicles and like the premium test track vehicles as well, and like the prize ride. That's gonna be onto the discounts now. Where I'm not used to seeing that quick job. I think it was job in 8th gen. I think the first pause menu money opportunities are in the pause menu here. Alright, Hunting Pack Remix, that's adversary mode at the white bottom there. Short trips is in missions. Air races. But air races are in here, and I'll probably want to go over first. And again, like I mentioned, a lot of these money opportunities are like ones that are repeat from a couple weeks ago. So they kind of took a lot of stuff from a couple weeks ago for some reason, for like the prolonged 2-week event week, for the like kind of like event week going between like the release from like 8th gen to 9th generation. But yeah, air races are on a 3 times money in RP right now. But yeah, races I think on a like double money, if I remember, is like 16,000 like per like 8 to 10 minutes or something if you like do it by yourself and like wait till the last moment. I think on triple you might be able to get like around like 25,000 if you're doing one by yourself between like 8 to 10 minutes or something. So like getting like 150 to like 200,000 like per hour or something like that if you're just going to do them by yourself, like wait till like the maximum like cooldown or like time or whatever that you get paid for or whatever is just not really that worth it. And of course you can also race with other people, but then it becomes like a lot more competitive and you're not really going to be all that guaranteed to win or anything. So definitely not one I would recommend. So that would probably be like the worst money opportunity I would imagine for the current event. And yeah, short trips I'm pretty sure are on a 2 times right now. Okay, it shows money on here, but I thought it was supposed to be like RP as well. Okay, no, it is just a money, not an RP for some reason. So for some reason, there's no RP, just 2 times money. And yeah, I think the regular payout is actually at $50,000 for every single like short trip. But yeah, I think short trips pay like 50,000 on like regular difficulty. So on the normal difficulty, I think you make like 100,000 on double. And I think it increases like around like 15 to like 20,000 more on like hard difficulty. So I think on hard difficulty, normally it's supposed to pay like 62 to like 65,000 or something like that, if I heard right. So that might be like 120 to like 130,000 for the short trips. But yeah. Okay, they actually like changed it like rank thing. It used to say 9999 for some reason, even though you could play it at rank 1. Okay, never mind. The thumbnail issue is still a thing apparently on this version. It's not as frequent, I think, for like lower internet connections or something. But yeah, I think Seed Capital is the first one of them. I think this is like the second one in terms of like story order, and this OG Kush one I think might be the last of the three. But in my opinion, Seed Capital is a pretty alright one. It's kind of difficult, kind of not in a way. I think this is the one where you have like the technicals going after you. But I think this is the one where you have like the technicals that you can like steal for part of the mission and then use it by like yourself, which makes the mission definitely easier, I would say. And then this is the one where you do like the deal, I believe, with like the Epsilon people, and then it all like goes bad and stuff, and it gets all like raided or whatever, or something like that. But yeah. Whatever the like last mission is in the like story order, that's the one I would definitely avoid the most, because it has that annoying like gunfight. Not only that, but you're obviously playing as Franklin and Lamar in these. That's short trips. They're basically like contact missions, but you're playing as Franklin and Lamar, and you also have like limited weaponry and stuff like that because of playing as Franklin and Lamar, not your actual online character. So yeah, the contact missions for short trips are more restrictive technically in terms of like the weapon capabilities and whatnot, so you do have to be more strategic in these missions, which is kind of a nice change in a way. But at the same time, it kind of ruins the replayability in my opinion, so I mean, it's a pretty alright money opportunity this time around, but yeah. If you're dedicated enough with the Hangar though, it would probably be better to do like the Hangar, to be honest. At least if you have like multiple like people to do it with, not solo though. I wouldn't do Hangar solo, so if you're a solo player mainly, I would definitely probably do the short trips as like one of the better money opportunities. And yeah, short trips was not on like a money opportunity a couple weeks ago, so that's kind of one of the more like that's kind of one of the like coupled a few like differences between this event and the one from like a couple weeks ago. And yeah, Hunting Pack Remix, 2x money RP. I'm pretty sure again this was not something they did a couple weeks ago, so this is kind of one that like coupled a few differences between this event and the one a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, Hunting Pack Remix is a pretty fun mode, I would say. Though I don't know, this one actually might have been on double as well, like the previous event. I could be wrong, but yeah. I'm gonna show something real quick when it comes to like a trade price that you can actually unlock, and that is actually on war stock here. And yeah, a little preview at one of the like new like vehicles in the 9th generation. The weaponized Ignis, pretty cool. Definitely seems pretty hype. But yeah, if you win a match of Hunting Pack Remix, you actually unlock the trade price of the Scramjet. But yeah, normally the Scramjet costs like $4 million-ish, but if you do win a match of Hunting Pack Remix for that trade price, it will instead be $3,480,000 instead of like high to like instead of like mid to like high like 4 million again. So definitely worth playing it at least until you like win at least one match if you have yet to unlock the trade price for the Scramjet. Because I think they're going to be vaulting the game mode once like April comes around. Once April comes around, I think they'll probably be vaulting that game mode again, because I don't think it's a permanent game mode at all. I think it's one of the more limited time adversary modes since they vault stuff now. So that's kind of an incentive to do it at least. So I would at least play it for that reason. But yeah, aside from that, I believe it would probably be out the same as like a race or something. Players, I don't know, depending on like, like rounds and stuff, how long the last and stuff. probably pass on it unless you want to play it for the very limited time that will be available, or also to get that scramjet trade price, because it might not be available in the game for much longer for this mode, if you want to get it for a bit cheaper. And yeah, scramjet has like rocket capability. Scramjet has rocket capabilities, it can jump, and then it has like, yeah, it has a rocket boost, it can jump, and then it has like pretty accurate missiles, pretty the most accurate missiles in the game. It's a pretty good vehicle to get a trade price on. And yeah, there's also a couple things that you can unlock actually with the short trips. But yeah, complete a short trip anytime this week and you'll get a lump sum bonus of $100,000. So if you do play one short trip, you do actually unlock. But if you do a single short trip in the event week, the prolonged event week, you will get $100,000, which can be kind of nice. However, like I said, there's some more like restrictive like contact missions in terms of like weapon usage and stuff like that. So for 100,000, most likely not worth it. But regardless, it's still free money that can be earned. And then apparently by doing a short trip, you can also get the black SA fitted cap. So I heard the black SA fitted cap was like a login reward for like 2015 or something. So if you're a very veteran player from like back in 2015 or something, then I think you should already have the black SA fitted cap, if I recall. So it was given out sometime during like the original like Lowriders like DLC or something. So chances are you might already have if you're a veteran player and you go for like a lot of different like clothing unlocks or something. But I think that's all the pause menu, money opportunities. From there, it gets a bit more difficult to explain. And yeah, on the newswire does mention Pack Remix does actually get you that scramjet trade price, like I mentioned. So I didn't like just make that up or anything. It's actually legit. Okay, and then there's a couple more. But yeah, next one here is actually the flight school. But yeah, the San Andreas Flight School pays out 2 times money in RP. But yeah, the lessons are pretty quick, kind of, if you're really good at them. But yeah, that payout, payout even on double is probably not all that great, unfortunately. Because it is back from the 7th generation systems, and back then they didn't really have good payouts back on the 7th gen versions of the game. But yeah, anything that kind of debuted from the 7th generation versions of the game kind of didn't really have that great of payouts compared to stuff that was introduced later on and whatnot, so I don't think I really need to explain it much more. But yeah, Flight School most definitely not worth all that time or anything. But it's a nice extra incentive to do it if you have to do it at least, so that's something. And yeah, I think the first time you get a gold medal, you also get a good amount of money or something for every single lesson. I don't know if that would be on double though. It's probably just like the standard payout. It's probably not the like payout for like gold medals or something for a first time completion though. And then yeah, Hangar here. Smuggler cell missions result in triple payouts for money and RP through March 23rd. But yeah, the hangar business is unfortunately, in my opinion, the worst business in the game, because yeah, I think the maximum regular like payout on like regular money is like $750,000, which is actually pretty low for business, I would say. And then it's also an active business, so you have to actually actively like source the cargo every time. However, you don't have to buy the cargo at least. Unlike with the first business of the game, it's at least like free to like source like cargo at least. If it gets destroyed, you don't have money technically in a way. But it's not a very friendly like solo business in the game. It's definitely best if you have at least like 4 people to help you out with it or something. Because the way it works is you get like one thing of cargo basically every single mission if you're solo. And then it goes up to like 2 free, and then 4 players you get like 2 cargo, free cargo, or like 4 cargo per mission if I recall. And 5, 6, 7, 8 for MC, those still just give you 4, I believe, since I think it maxes out at 4, because the CEO maxes out at 4 for like the bodyguards and whatnot. So at most every mission you'll be able to collect like 4 things. So with like 4, I think the maximum capacity is like 50. You basically get it filled up in like 13 missions, which that's probably like 2 to 3 hours, which can be alright if you're in like a big group or something. But yeah, if you only have like 2 people to help you out or something, and you'll only get like 3 things of cargo or whatever, it's like 10. That's like 16 to 17 like missions, I believe, if you're doing it with 3 people. So that's another extra like couple to few. 2 per mission, that will basically be 25 missions, and then if you're doing it solo, you're basically having to do like all 50 missions basically to fill up your like hangar entirely, everyone for a maximum amount. And yeah, the money, you're only getting like $10,000 like per one you collect normally, so I think it's like 30,000 right now because it's at triple. So like 30,000 per like one thing, not necessarily that great as a solo player. Definitely much better off doing the short trips, I would say. As a solo player, that short trips are probably definitely the best for a solo player. So if you have 4-player like CO or like 4 to like 8-player MC, that's basically the best way to go about the hangar. And I think there's also like cargo and shipments, like medical supplies, and I think there's one other one, and basically the like 3 types of cargo on like the top left of the screen. Those, I think, are the ones you want to be sourcing, and you only want to source like one type. So you either choose cargo shipments, medical supplies, or whatever the like other one in like the free in the top left section of the computer thing is. But yeah, those are the best couple to choose from. I think the way it works is if you stick with one thing of cargo, eventually you get like a 50% and then also like a 75% bonus or something. So like normally you only get like 10,000 per thing, like 50 of those would be like 500,000. And that like 50% bonus for like 1% for like each thing of like cargo, whatever, that gets you to 750 normally, I believe. So basically 500,000 times free, that's 1.5 million. Half of that, half of 1.5 million, like 750,000, I'm pretty sure. So I think at most that means you can make like 2.2 to like 2.3 million dollars of the business. And again, that's if you stick to one type of cargo, which means you have to actually wait a couple minutes per like thing. Whereas if you bounce like back and forth between like different like cargo, you don't have any cooldown. But you also don't get any of the bonuses as well, I believe. Or at least not the maximum, like 50% bonus, maybe like a 25% bonus or something. So Ed Hangar's kind of the worst business just because of all the stuff I kind of mentioned, having to have a lot of players to make it efficient, and then also because of the like sticking to one type gives you the most like bonus, and then you'll also have those like couple minute cooldowns basically every single mission because of that. So yeah, Hangar, in my opinion, kind of the worst business. But it's definitely still worth doing if you're in like a huge like MC, or if you're in like the largest like possible like CO with a couple of our friends or something. So then it could be kind of worth doing. But yeah, I'll actually do this export vehicle here real quick. But yeah, I'll go over the discounts and stuff. But again, since it's a very copy paste for the discounts from a couple weeks ago, I kind of already mentioned the discounts from a couple weeks ago, so I might kind of summarize them and whatnot. So the stream's not so long, hopefully. Okay, what the heck happened to like radar? It's all like gray for some reason. Weird. I don't recall that happening on the. I don't recall that happening on the previous version of the game ever. But okay. What the heck? Where is it? And what the? Okay, what the fuck? Tells me to go over there, but the icon's not in there. What the fuck? Must be a new glitch in this version of the game. I don't know. I want to try to see if I can still take it there at least, but like the radar gets all glitched up, it seems, when you go in the export vehicles suddenly. Like, nice glitch there, Rockstar. Like, maybe playtest your fucking game or some shit. Also, speaking of glitches, I remember there. Yeah. Also, speaking of glitches, I think with the Cayo Perico heist, I had to like fast travel for like $10,000 on my first Cayo Perico heist of the 9th generation, but once I completed it, then it turned back to 2,000. So for some reason, it like discounted like fast travel actually resets on the Cayo Perico heist. I had to pay like 8,000 extra like fast travel a couple times on my first Cayo Perico heist in 9th generation. But it seems it did go back afterwards. And yeah, I don't know why the hell the radar's all glitched up going in here, but yeah. Curious if I can still deliver it, to be honest. Because I know where to go for it, at least. Because it's always only the one location, I'm certain of it. I'm hoping it works. If not, then they're glitched up, I guess, in this new version. What the heck? Okay. Okay. The fuck? I guess I can't deliver it. What the fuck? I guess it's staying there then. Nice new glitch, Rockstar. Nice new fucking glitch there. Or export vehicle. Did it even despawn as well? Are you serious? It despawned as well. Are you for real right now? Yeah, very interesting glitchiness there. And again, keep in mind this is a regular Octo Drag, not converted one yet even. Because obviously that converted one's gonna be so much faster acceleration and whatnot. And yeah, there's a clothing discount right now, it seems, but yeah. Record A Studios is also offering 30% off all the merchandise and clothing sold at the studio's gift shop. You can visit Record A Studios after completing Dr. Dre's VIP contract to access his exclusive collection. But yeah, Record A Studio clothing 30% off. So if you want some nice cosmetics, I guess. And yeah, property discount. For property discount, there's a Hangar, and then also it's Renovations. That seems to be 40% off. So I think that's the most expensive one, for example. So this is the most expensive Hangar right now. It's $1,950,000 instead of $3,250,000. So that's like a $1.3 million saving on just the like stock Hangar here. For the most expensive. And you have 40% off, so you should also get like the Hangar style, the lighting, the foreign graphics, cosmetic like furniture for the office. And then there's these Better 2 renovations, which are the living quarters, which actually allows you to spawn in. And then there's a cosmetic for that as well. But yeah, I absolutely recommend having living quarters on the Hangar, because obviously it lets you spawn there, and then therefore you also get access to all your personal aircrafts for being able to like spawn right next to them. So definitely one of the better properties to get that living quarters for. And then the workshop, that allows you to modify the personal aircraft, so absolutely want that as well. So like the bare minimum like modification like essentials here, I would say, and whatnot. I would say that these two, and then like most expensive like for Zancudo one, like 2.7 million. That's pretty good. I'd say 2.8 maybe. That's a couple hours of coverage guys, which isn't necessarily not bad for a Hangar of all things. And yeah, unlike other properties, there is a major difference in terms of location in a way compared to like things like the bunkers and like the nightclubs and stuff like that. But yeah, wow, the cheapest one right now is around 720,000 if you don't really care about like the location. But yeah, LSIA. LSIA actually allows you to like spawn vehicles in the airport, which I'm pretty sure you cannot normally do, so you do get the convenience of spawning things at the airport, which is nice. But obviously Fort Zancudo is better because it's a restricted military base, so getting a Hangar here actually allows you like some low level like clearance over here that allows you to actually go over there and whatnot. And you can even like steal the lasers of like the explosive cannons, and you only get like a 2-star 1 level, I think, compared to like a 4-star 1 level normally. There's definitely some nice benefit being at like Fort Zancudo and everything in comparison to the LSIA, but they definitely both have their good benefits. And again, you do get the spawning convenience of like spawning things at Fort Zancudo as well. So it's definitely one of the properties where the location actually kind of matters in a way, compared to some other stuff. Alright, nothing on Arena War, very certain of it. Figured I would check it quick, it's a short one to check. Benny doesn't know that long to check either. But again, a lot of the discounts are kind of copy-paste from like a couple weeks ago, but yeah. The Sea Sparrow, I actually have a reviewing guide on that one, but yeah. Basically, it's the regular Sparrow from the Cayo Perico heist, but it basically allows you to like go land on water, essentially. But it's also for the personal aircraft menu, which means it actually has like a 5-minute cooldown compared to Sparrow having a regular like 2-minute cooldown. So regular Sparrow you can spawn in 2 minutes, this one you can only spawn in like 5 minutes. So the spawn convenience is definitely quite less because of being a personal aircraft, and I mean 5 minutes when it like gets destroyed, or like 5 minutes since you like previously called it or whatever. But it's definitely one of the better grinding vehicles in the game, especially for amphibious missions. This is definitely the best amphibious mission, like grinding vehicle in the game. So definitely a very worthwhile one to pick up. Speaking of amphibious, there's also the Sea Breeze here. Now, Sea Breeze is actually kind of the best amphibious vehicle when it comes to landing capabilities. This thing, you can literally dive into the water and this vehicle will still be pretty much fine from what I've heard. Whereas something like the Sea Sparrow and like the Tula just can actually get damaged if you don't land that well in the water and whatnot. So this thing can do some very hard landings in water, which makes it kind of in a way the best amphibious vehicle in terms of landing capabilities. Besides for that, it's basically got like the machine guns on the wings, which those aren't really all that great because they're all like spaced out and whatnot. Alpha Z1. This one does not have any weapon capabilities. This one's purely a plane for like. This is basically like purely a like racing plane in the game and whatnot. It's the plane in the game with the best lap time, but yeah. It is the #1 lap time plane from what I remember, but yeah. Obviously, you're in the air, so you don't really need that lap time. You don't really need that fast corner. You don't really need fast cornering. God damn, I can't speak much. But you really do not need that much like cornering capabilities in the like air like you do on like the land and maybe sea as well. So I would say top speed is better for like an aircraft. So I don't know if they do add another personal aircraft in the game, like through another update or something. This might be one that's worth tossing away pretty soon. Because as it stands in the game right now, there's actually exactly 20 aircraft in the game, I'm pretty sure, that are like able to be like fully modified, not just like a respray only and whatnot. So I don't know, this one pretty soon could be pretty irrelevant in the game, I would say, kind of. And again, the ultralight, like with the Sea Sparrow and then the ultralight, I have reviewing guides on those, so I did cover this one more in depth in like a video or whatever, but yeah. The ultralight is pretty interesting as a gimbal turret, which no other vehicle has in the game, which is like a pretty fully rotatable like machine gun for like an air vehicle, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you're in the air, so it's very hard to hit like land vehicles with the gun though. But for air vehicles, for aerial combat, it can be pretty nice for that cool, like pretty exclusive like gimbal turret weaponry it has on it. But yeah, I think it's also like the worst like top speed vehicle in the plane class as well, or something like that. So performance is obviously not really going to be that good. And it's also not very helpful for missions. Sea Breeze and the Ultralight are not necessarily all that helpful for missions, even though they got weaponry and they're more useful than most vehicles in the game. They're still not necessarily that great for mission grinding per se. If you want a good grinding vehicle for missions though, between the discount vehicles, definitely the Sea Sparrow is the way to go. And then yeah. Phelan 5-seater, that's an old school aircraft in the game, which means it cannot be customized with like engine upgrades and stuff like that. There's no like engine upgrades or anything, whatever. You can only like respray if you have as like a personal aircraft for any reason, which I do not recommend. It's a waste of a spot for a personal aircraft. And if you do a lot of Cayo Perico heists, you already basically know how slow the Villain 5-seater is. It's not good performance whatsoever, basically. Might be one vehicle on discount here, maybe a couple, I forget. Some I might have already mentioned, basically on the like test track and whatnot. But yeah, the Grady Cheetah Classic. I guess I'll have a little look at this one, I guess, for performance sakes and whatnot. But yeah, the Cheetah Classic is actually pretty good in the Sport Classic class. It's like second place lap time apparently, going off for perfect 152 spreadsheet, and then also sixth place top speed. So you are getting a pretty good performing Sport Classic vehicle here. But yeah. For those on the 9th generation of systems like myself, there is actually a brand new like Sport Classic vehicle. It's actually the Turismo Classic here, but it's also like a conversion of it. But yeah, there's a new conversion of the Turismo Classic here in the Sport Classic class. That's kind of the new best one, I would assume, at least for like acceleration purposes, at least. But still, this one's definitely still pretty good, whether you're on the 8th gen or the 9th gen. From a performance standpoint. I seem to be only discounting legendary there. And yeah, Tula is on discount again. Not really want to care to look at what the percentage is and the Rockstar News Wire itself. But yeah, the Tula here, again, I mentioned it with like the other amphibious vehicles. Yeah, this one, surprisingly, it's not really that good of an amphibious vehicle. It's not very good at landing. It can actually get damaged pretty easily when you do like amphibious landings. And even if you are kind of careful, I think it can get damaged pretty easily in like amphibious landings. And yeah, at least it has machine guns that are on the nose, so it's definitely. But yes, machine guns are on the nose of the vehicle, so it is definitely easier to like hit with these machine guns than it would be with like the Sea Breeze. Unlike the Sea Breeze, it also does have VTOL capabilities. So you can actually go like a plane, or you can also like fly like a helicopter as well, which is very nice. It's also got 5 seats compared to like 2 in like the Sea Sparrow, and then like also the Sea Breeze. So it has a lot of like seating capacity for VTOL and like amphibious vehicle. And then the only other weapon on it, I believe, is this back gun here, which requires another player. And yeah, being a regular machine gun, I would say it's pretty okay, I guess, but it's obviously not that great, requiring a second player in it, and it's not like one of the better weaponry in the game. I would say this one would probably be better for doing missions, I would say, than the Sea Breeze, but even still, this isn't really much of like a vehicle for grinding like missions in the game, I would say. I would say it's more for like amphibious capabilities, kind of like the Sea Breeze. Again, if you want a good grinding vehicle that does have amphibious capabilities, definitely get the Sea Sparrow, I would say. And yeah, this is not on discount, just got stuff at the moment. And yeah, Buzzard's not on discount, just got stuff at the moment. But yeah, the Hydra. Hydrant's at like 3 mil to 1,550,000. And the discount is actually pretty shit on the Hydra, actually. It's only a measly 15% off. Only a measly 15% off the Hydra here. But no matter the amount of money it costs, it is a pretty good vehicle in the game still, I would say. Has missiles. Yeah, the missiles, they're not anything special. You only get like 2 missiles basically, and then you have to wait like 2 seconds to reload the missiles essentially. So there is cooldown on the missiles because it is an older vehicle back from the 7th generation versions of the game, back when there wasn't all these like super like crazy powerful like vehicles aside for arguably the Laser Hydra and like the Savage and whatnot. And also it's one of the free vehicles in the game that has that like very powerful like explosive cannon in the game. And yeah, the explosive cannon, the Hydra absolutely decimates practically everything in the game, so the explosive cannon makes grinding very nice. And not only is it a super fast jet, also again, like the Tula. Yeah, the Tula and the Hydra. Both of those have VTOL capabilities, which means that they can take off like a helicopter and like fly like a helicopter or a plane, like a jet as well, which is quite awesome. So quite the versatile vehicle here. I would say this and the Sea Sparrow are probably the best like vehicles that are on discount right now for like grinding purposes. Nothing on this website. Definitely nothing on there. No need to check that one. And yeah, this one's free right now for me because it's a like free vehicle for return players. That's exclusive to 9th gen version, by the way. So all you have to do is basically migrate your character over at the cost of losing your character on the 8th generation system for some reason, even though it wasn't like that from 7th to 8th gen. For whatever reason they did this time for 8th gen, 9th gen, and it removes your previous character apparently. But yeah, Buffalo XTX, I basically already mentioned this one on the like test track vehicles. There's not really anything else to mention with this that I've yet to mention, I would say. And yeah, being a newer vehicle, the discount's probably not all that great. It's probably like 25% or something, I would say, on this one, because it's a pretty recent vehicle, and it also does have the Amani tech and whatnot. And yeah, the Tulip, I kind of already mentioned that one with like the test track vehicles, because it was there as well. And honestly, that might kind of be all of the discounts already for Stubborn San Andreas Super Autos. Yeah, all it is and on discount, just good stuff at the moment. Same with that. Yeah, it's definitely all of the discounts. Yeah, I don't know, still a little over an hour, but I was telling more like an hour and a half and stuff, so I think I did an alright bit better in a way. Get back to my Octo Drag here, or actually no. Let's see. I kinda wanna show some cool things, by the way, when it comes to like some different changes, but yeah. A very nice welcome change that they did with this version is pretty cool. Find new session, and then you actually get the option of all your different sessions. Before, you could only do the public session on the 8th gen version unless you went to like the creator or something, but you can also already choose invite only crew session, close friend session, and then solo session. Even though it's basically the same as invite only, but you don't get to invite people, so I don't know why solo session exists. But yeah. That's a very nice change. You can do find new session, and then you can choose a different type now in the 9th generation version only. Because again, in 8th gen, you actually have to go to like the creator to choose your invite only session. It's a very welcome change there. They also apparently made a change to like the nightclub like safe income or whatever. I think you can make like $50,000 if you have like full like popularity or something on the nightclub safe now. I think in the like 8th gen version you get like 10,000 for like a full like popularity and like bar or whatever. But now I think you get like 50,000 if you have like full popularity. And apparently they did something with like the biker like sale missions. They actually increased like the payouts on the biker like business like sell missions or whatever. I didn't watch a video on it yet, so I don't know like how much, but apparently that's something they did as well. And then yeah, one last thing, Rockstar actually confirmed they're actually going to be like Rockstar actually confirmed they're actually going to be rebalancing vehicles in the game. That's correct. I think that's for all versions of the game, the 8th gen and the 9th gen versions of the game now, basically, and then also PC and whatnot. They're actually going to be like, yeah, they're actually going to be rebalancing like vehicles in the game, and they particularly mentioned player versus player. They mentioned PvP, so they're going to be like balancing like, vehicles that players use on other players. It seems mainly. So they're going to actually be balancing like certain like weaponized vehicles and stuff like that. It seems. Whether that's for the better or for the worst, we'll have to wait and see. I guess. And that was all that was worth mentioning, I believe. And yeah, use this Rockstar. This is the third generation of the game now, and I can't even use their Rockstar Newswire info section here. That's just trash. I just use this fucking info section here already, Rockstar. I can't even click anything there, clearly. But yeah, this Rockstar Newswire thing never worked. Like, it would be cool if they would actually finally use it, though. Settings, I believe, is basically the same. And yeah, any graphics that we're seeing, I'm on the performance RT mode, so I'm actually on the good like performance ray tracing mode, so it kind of has graphics with the ray tracing, but it's mainly for performance, basically. And yeah, quit the story mode or quit the main menu. I'll show off the main menu a little bit, I suppose. But yeah, look how fast that loads, or whatever. Obviously, it's a 9th gen system, PS5 though, but it's still. But yeah, story mode. The story mode's basically the same, unfortunately. They didn't really seem to add like anything new. I checked on my 100% game save that I transferred over, and all the vehicles are still from like as late as Forgotten Games Part 2. There's still no vehicles past like mid like 2015, unfortunately, in the game. And yeah, this is the online menu here. You unlock how special works. Pretty cool like, description stuff there. New vehicles. This one just takes you to a public session. I imagine this kind of basically does the same thing in a sense. This one, when I chose it, it took me to like the Legendary Motorsport website right as I booted up the game, basically, into a session. So I imagine this would do the same thing, but it takes you to like the executive website and whatnot. But yeah, for free mode, you can just straight up join free mode. You can even straight up join like the original heist, it looks like. Maybe even like all the different heists, but it kind of suggests just the regular 2015 heist here with up to 3 other players. Series modes. They show Target Soul, but funnily enough, you can't even play Target Soul right now because they vaulted it, so that's pretty funny. They show a game mode that they don't even support in the game right now. And yeah, you may wonder why I didn't like go in here, but that's because it's not really that useful for the event week. Now I'm hoping that there's only 3 things here because the event week technically started before these versions came out. I really hope for future event weeks they actually like put like a bunch of stuff in here that actually says like all the different like discounts and stuff similar to what like Reddit Online has and whatnot. But I'm really hoping they do a lot more with this in subsequent like events and whatnot, rather than just having these measly free things. everyone knows what the contract's all about. Is that the last like 3 months, Rockstar come on, like put the benefit like event week kind of stuff in here, like you suggested he would in the like Newswire that you released yesterday when the game came out officially. We had 5 new exclusive vehicles, 2 on Legendary, 2 on Stubborn, and then the Weaponized Ignis as I shown off. And in fact, I was on all of those websites. They were probably already seen on like all the websites for the stream, basically. And those are the ones you can modify how special works and whatnot. And yeah, I think that's S90 on the right, and then I think that's the Coil Cyclone, like 2, I think, on the left there. And yeah, again, that's the S90, which is that free, like, conversion one and whatnot for the return players. And this mentions, like, what you, like, see and everything. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have all the event week stuff for some reason. I really hope they do that in future events. I'm really hoping this was one exception just because the event technically debuted before these versions came out, because obviously the HN version was still the latest version as of like a couple days ago in a sense. So I'm hoping it's only because the event was technically out before and they actually put more stuff here. Like clearly the loading screen takes up like the top half of the screen, and then these dots are at like the bottom of them. Clearly they can put more than 3 dots here. They can clearly put more than 3 dots here. So please do that, Rockstar. Please make this the benefits section I can write down on. So I can kind of ditch like the streaming format finally, and then maybe do more of like a video format. That would be something I would kind of consider doing. But they gotta like change it up here. Put the stuff in here, Rockstar. Come on. Please. I do want to show off a couple more things. I'm actually going to join a free mode here. It seems when you first enter here, you can't like join like the different like. But yeah, on this screen, it seems you do have to join a public lobby. Unfortunately, it seems you can't like go invite only right away for some reason. But once you go into like the public session, then I think you can go into your invite only and all that, and you don't again have to go through creator. You can actually do it directly from the pause menu, which is nice. Unlike in 8th gen where you have to go creator, then go to your like invite onlys every time and whatnot. And yeah, I know some of this is going away from like the event week stuff, but obviously this is my first stream on these new versions. I figured I would mention it. Oh wow, I got a 2-player public lobby. Interesting. Wonder what they're saying there. But yeah, check out how fast this invite only happens. It's literally like 5 seconds now. They're literally instant in invite only, and that's pretty awesome. Practically instant invite only within, again, like 3 to 5 seconds, I would say. So invite onlys are going to be so much faster now because they're on the like first menu. You don't even have to go into creator now. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking amazing. Oh my god, I'm actually pretty happy with this version, to be honest. I get a lot of complaints because they didn't add much stuff to it, but like, I feel the stuff they did do is pretty nice. Minus story mode, which they basically did nothing for, which pisses me off. I wish they actually did stuff for story mode. Like actual like new content stuff, not just like adding like vehicle variety and all that stuff they claimed and whatnot. Which I think I did notice better vehicle variety in story mode, but yeah. By the way, I have no intention of doing story mode stuff because again, they added like nothing new. I already did a walkthrough first person on like the PS4 version. I don't really see myself doing it like a video walkthrough in like third person. I don't really see myself doing that anytime soon. Maybe in the future, but that would probably be after like doing San Andreas Definitive Edition at least, because I still have to do that as well. And yeah, I took a little break on that by the way, because this version was coming out and whatnot. I did want a bit of a break, to be honest. But yeah, in like a day or two, I'll probably do the like vehicle customization kind of like stream and whatnot. But yeah, that's basically gonna be it for the stream. That's probably gonna be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.